Welcome to Deep Thought. Many people have inaccurate perceptions. Now, people was like, I've seen real happy and everything. This is the second time I'm recording this video because I had recorded it maybe a day or two ago and I accidentally deleted the copy. Like a whole bunch of stuff. How I keep everything. I thought I was deleting some of them and just didn't delete this. Well, deleted this one accidentally. This one and a few others. So I got to re-record them. I'm laughing. I'm actually laughing because usually when I have to re-record something, to me, that spirit telling me, some of the stuff you said didn't need to be said. So it's like, oh, okay, let me just do it again. That's why I always laugh about it. Because when you look, and this is a tangent, I haven't even got into the main body of everything yet. You know, sometimes you just got to start over. Oh man, I got the vapors. Anyway, right? I know I'm seriously laughing because I always see it as a good thing. But let me get to the main thing. Many people have inaccurate perceptions of others, of situations, and it's a profound reason why they do. Well, profound reasons why they have inaccurate perceptions. And you know, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna use a personal example in this. Something I get whenever I see people in public or they see me in public. It could be in a group or just on the street or something. It's like, Rom, you taller than I thought you were. Like people perceive me as short-statured. And I was like, okay, or shorter statured. And it kills me, right? Now, it used to like annoy me. It used to annoy me, right? But after a while, like there was a psychologist, this is when I first started, a so-called psychologist, well, you appear to have short man syndrome. I was like, can't have something if I never was. I was always one of the taller kids in class. But, you know, people look at my bodybuilding and everything, but it's the same as a football player. So it's like, if I was at a football training camp or something, they'd be like, hey, who you used to play for? But I was thinking about that. And I can see it too. Sometimes I look and I say, oh, okay, I can see it. And I laugh about it. Like I said, I laugh about it now. I laugh about it. I just say, you know. In fact, I met somebody in the real world. He said a couple times, hey, you really taller than I thought you were. And this is a dude who was like 6'1", and I was only an inch off of his height. And I just said, you know, let people think that. I'll use it to my advantage. But then I thought about the bigger thing about perceptions, how we perceive others, how we see them. And I thought about that, and it was like, you know, one, I'll use that example I used of myself real quick. The only way somebody could be accurate, they would have to be in my presence. And that's why I say I get it so much, and now it's like, I look forward to it now. Oh man, you know, because I said, got an advantage. They're not reading me right. Got an advantage. You know, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. But if you don't know your enemy, there could be some problems. Not to say I'm your enemy, but just something in life. I'm still laughing about all this. But anyway, and that's just one example, a personal example. But you get the idea, right? You get the idea. Like how often do we might watch some videos of somebody, or even in the real world, like your perception of somebody. Say you see somebody and they just never smiling or anything, right? They never smiling, anything like that. And you see them all the time. But then once you get to, that's your perception of them. Oh, they're serious. Oh, they could be even dangerous. But then you get to know them and you like, they're the most fun people. They just have a serious look when you see them. You know, that's an inaccurate thing. Or let's use situations. How often do we see something happening and different people have different perceptions of it? You know, how often? Like you see something and think, oh, well, this is what they're thinking, or we're projecting, they must be doing this or something. It was like, no, because then the truth, you find out the truth, and say, no, this is how they really were going, thinking about some situation, or this is what really happened. Like with different situations, you know, there's a saying that the truth, like any situations, has three sides. Your side, maybe the other person's side, and then the actual truth. And I was thinking about that. One of the issues with people having inaccurate perceptions is we all perceive stuff through our own lenses. And then what is the issue then? What is the issue then, right? The issue then is our false beliefs, our biases, our prejudices. You know, let me use a racial example. You know, we'll look at different racial groups and think, oh, they're this, so they must be intelligent. You know, and, you know, with blacks, it's like, oh, they're black. Oh, they must not be that intelligent, or they must be doing some criminal stuff. You know, shoot, even other blacks can have that about some within the black community. Or whites, they're going to be this, or that white is going to be racist and everything. And yeah, I've met some racist whites, but then I've met some whites who shoot, they'll fight a racist harder than a black person would, or anybody else. Or the Hispanics. I remember this dude, he had this perception of Hispanic women always having a baby and everything. You know, it's something. Or Asians, it's like having that perspective that, oh, they're all smart and all math whizzes and all of that. But where do those come from? They come from our own biases, ourselves, because we don't know what that particular person is until you actually interact with them. You don't know. You don't know how they feel about anything. You can't assume just based on some superficial stuff. But then that assumption is really within us and how we see the world, you know? So we see the world through our lenses, so we always see it from our point of view. Just like that statement I made, you know, the truth will have three sides: my side, your side, and the actual truth. We seeing it through our biases and everything. Like, let me give you an interesting thing. And this was funny. I've talked about this one time before. This happened way back in college, senior year in college. I was DJing with a buddy of mine. I was DJ Cool Rom Ski. And we had this thing at our school, St. Joe's. It was a debating tournament. And see, me and my buddy, we were hired to DJ the after party. And during the after party, there would be announcements made about different results. Now, I remember this kid came up to us and said, hey, you got to play this song. And I said, yeah, you know, I just said to him, I said, well, sorry, we don't have that song. And I thought that was the end of it, right? So we got up there and people, we were having a good time. So DJ Cool Rom Skill on the mic. Don't ask me to get on the mic now. Don't, right? And, you know, I could see everybody was dancing and everything. I mean, the floor stayed crowded. The kids loved it. Okay, at the end of it, that same kid who came up, who was asking for a particular record, actually walked up and said, hey, everybody would have danced if you had played that one record. And me and the other DJ just looked at each other and then looked at him. I was like, what the hell? And I always remember that because I said, how you not see a crowd of people? But then in even later years, I thought back to it. I said, maybe that was just his perception. You know, because, you know, people see what they want or see what they can handle, you know. And yeah, I'm going to tell you the best way to really deal with that is to fight as best as possible, fight our own biases and try to see what's actually there. It's tough. It's tough because we all going to have a certain bias, but try to fight it. Like, I'm known for talking about male-female relationships. Like, I would tell guys, like, a guy might see a fine woman and think she's a bitch. Oh, she's real fine. She's a bitch. She's going to, you know, she's not going to get with me, or she would do this or that. I was like, you don't know that. You might talk to her or say hi, and she's the friendliest person. I've actually met some very beautiful women who were like that, but other guys thought they were a certain way. But I would talk to them. I say, nah, she's real cool. She's real cool. That's because I ain't have a bias. I ain't have a bias, but that's the thing. I didn't have an inaccurate perception, because really, only time you really have an accurate perception is when you see the whole picture, study something. And this is something I do, which I strongly advise. Try to see the whole picture about something. Try to find out about it before making a judgment. Like when we meet different people, like especially like, okay, a racially thing, don't have a racial bias against a person you don't know yet. You don't know where they stand. You know, you don't know where they stand, what their traits are, because you don't know that person. Get to know that person. Try to see something accurate. Even some stuff we see on social media, I don't take anything serious. I really don't, unless I'm around that person. I don't take it seriously, you know, unless I can see the whole picture. Because let's just be real, there's a lot of acting online, a lot of acting. Even some people you think are serious. Like I remember it was kind of like a private barbershop, and one of the guys was talking about, I say, a well-known person. And I never forget what he said. He said, oh yeah, dude, it's like really down to earth. You see him in the world. You might think, he said, you'll see one thing online, but you see him in the real world, dude, is like real cool, real down to earth. You know, real friendly and everything. But you wouldn't get that perception of this particular person if you saw his online stuff. I ain't gonna mention the person. I'll just say he's well known. But this guy, he see the person in a particular setting, like on a consistent basis. He said, nah, he's real cool, talk to everybody. You know, talk with anybody too. He don't hold himself up there at some high and mighty level. So it's like, really try to see the whole picture of something. All right, really try to see the whole picture. So anyway, that's it for this one. I'll make sure this one gets up. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.